Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be watching and reacting to Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 6. This is the season finale. I don't have high expectations for this episode. I enjoyed last episode, but I thought it took kind of a weird dark turn. So I just don't really know what they're going to talk about or showcase in this episode. We will watch all of it, of course, and react to it, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. I have enjoyed this show. You know, it's kind of bittersweet that we're here at the end. I'm a little lost for what to record and react to next, or where we take the channel from here. I was considering House of Dragons, which is still not off the table. But I know Ewan, I'm not sure if she watches these videos anymore, but at one point she said that she didn't think I'd be able to follow House of Dragons. You know, some other folks like Gus and some other folks said that they'd watch it. So, you know, that's a possibility. I kind of want to know what you guys want to see. Those that have stuck it out with me throughout this time, you know, what do you want to see from this channel? What would you like to see moving forward? I had an idea of doing like the best of the seasons, and I'm still not 100% about not doing that. It's just a matter of I can't find what I did with my drive that's got all the season 1 videos, but I also don't know if that's something you'd all be interested in or not. I had heard the honest trailers were pretty good for Game of Thrones, so I might react to those. But you know, I'd like to hear from you in the comments what you guys want to see, where you want me to take this channel after Game of Thrones, because we have reached the end. So, but without further ado, let's jump into Game of Thrones and see what we're in store for today. You know, I'm going to miss this soundtrack. The music from Game of Thrones, I didn't talk about it a lot, but just even the opening soundtrack every week. I mean, the music is so good. I really might go out of my way to purchase some of this music. I hadn't really searched for any of it because I didn't want any spoilers. Just because I found anytime you Google anything Game of Thrones related, it pops up with spoilers. So I kind of stayed away from search engines. But I think I'd like to own some of this music, or at the very least put it on my playlist to listen to while I'm driving and stuff like that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The music was amazing. The music was great for this show. It's kind of sad that this is it. But alas, we are here. Game of Thrones.
It's over. These men are prisoners.
It is not over until the Queen's enemies are defeated.
How much more defeated do you want them to be? They're on their knees.
They are breathing.
Look around you, friend. We won.
I obey my Queen's commands, not yours.
And what are the Queen's commands?
Kill all who follow Cersei Lannister. These are free men. They chose to fight for her.
Easy, man. Easy. Easy. John. We should speak with the Queen.
I agree with John. This is dumb. This is dumb. They won. You don't have to kill everybody. Jeez. So is this just going to be another episode of more slaughtering people that are already crushed? You've already destroyed them, and now you got to make sure they're not even breathing anymore? Yeah. Well, whatever. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. It's interesting how they're filming this. I mean, it's not quite black and white, but pretty much black and white. It's been this whole episode just very dark and gloomy. There's been a little bit of light with the fire and the inside scene, or inside the cavern. I think it's just the fire, but it's thus far it's pretty much all black and white. It's interesting take of how they're doing it, but it is kind of dark times and very gloomy, so I get it, but it's just interesting the choice that they decided to do that.
In Vabatolvio viho beoldi darende. In veli basma tetostaor. In Vabatolvio viho ninronti raderat. Tolvrio pregelat. En winter velva dornat.
She's giving me dictatorship vibes. I don't know. I mean, she's... I don't know. I don't know. That's just the vibes I'm getting. And maybe that's not what I should be taking away. But she kind of is giving me those dictatorship vibes. I don't know. I don't know how to put that into words, really, other than what I just said. She's leading with an iron fist, but, her people like her and support her and will do whatever she tells them to do, but it's interesting because she's just, anybody that disagrees with her, she's just killing, basically. Anybody that followed Cersei, she's killing. Now she's telling them to take Tyrion. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but she's just giving me dictatorship vibes.
You really are. You'll always be a threat to her. And I know a killer when I see one.
What?
You've been up there. On a dragon's back, you've had that power. Would you have burned the city down?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You won't say because you don't want to betray her. But you know.
Does it matter what I do?
It matters more than anything. When she murdered the slavers of Astapor.
And it will be. It's not easy to see something that's never been before. A good world.
How do you know? How do you know it'll be good?
Because I know what is good. And so do you.
I know.
You do. You do. You've always known.
You are my queen. Now and always.
I'm with Tyrion. I'm with Tyrion. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of hers anyways, and then just slaughtering everybody. I mean, you know, Gus was trying to reason with me. Oh, that's what happens in war. You know, I get the innocent die, but it was more so than that. Like, she was purposely killing everyone. Anyone that had anything to do with Cersei. So, I'm not a fan of Jon just sucking up to her. But whatever. We're almost done anyways. 42 minutes left. Oh! I thought she killed Jon. I thought she killed Jon. Wow. Well, this is a mess. Wow. I'm okay with this. But Jon's gonna be dead now, too. Wow. Okay, I bet that was hard for him. I didn't see that coming. Okay. Wow. Real surprised the dragon didn't kill him. Really surprised the dragon didn't kill him. I mean, the dragon's pissed. I mean, who wouldn't be? Kill its mother. Someone that raised him. I'm real surprised he didn't kill Jon.
Have a king or queen.
You're the most powerful people in Westeros. Choose one.
Make your choice then.
This escalated quickly. We just jumped ahead, by months? I mean, Tyrion's got a beard now. It was interesting. Interesting ending to the series. I'm glad they're coming up with a conclusion, though. But, yeah, it was an unexpected turn, and then they have half an episode to finish it. I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot that's happening. A lot to keep up with, and they got to finish it in 30 minutes. I mean, I think even less than 30, because they probably had behind the scenes and the credits and stuff. So, I don't know. This has been an impactful episode, but it's weird. It's weird. Everything's moving so quickly.
Aye.
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 Aye. I'm not sure I get a vote, but aye.
Aye.
I love you, little brother. I always will. You'll be a good king. But tens of thousands of Northmen fell in the Great War, defending all of Westeros. And those who survived have seen too much and fought too hard ever to kneel again. The North will remain an independent kingdom.
Choose anyone else.
I choose you.
You cannot.
Yes, I can. I'm king.
This man is a criminal. He deserves justice.
He just got it. He's made many terrible mistakes. He's going to spend the rest of his life fixing them.
It is not enough.
I don't expect we'll ever see each other again.
I wouldn't be so sure. A few years as Hand of the King would make anyone want to piss off the edge of the world.
Imagine making it all this way just to get sent to the Night's Watchman again, all over again. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This is very interesting. Very interesting. I'm surprised they all agreed to make Bran the king, but there you have it. There you have it. Game of Thrones. Obviously, I'll keep watching.
What's this?
A Song of Ice and Fire. Archmaester Ebro's history of the wars following the death of King Robert.
What does he say about me?
I don't believe you're mentioned.
These projects will begin as soon as the Master of Coin and Lord of Lofty Titles provides funding.
The Master of Coin looks forward to helping the Master of Ships, but first he has to ensure we're not wasting coin, or soon there won't be no more coin.
Anymore.
You're Master of Grammar now, too.
Grand Maester! I once brought a jackass and a honeycomb into a brothel.
Wow. Wow. Looks like there's no behind the scenes for the last episode. So yeah, I'll wrap up my thoughts, rewatch the episode, and let you know what I think. Well, last time I'm going to say this, but you've reached it to the end of the day's episode of Game of Thrones. I didn't have much to showcase for you there towards the end, especially the second half of the episode. I got more wrapped up in just kind of watching and just taking it all in. I didn't really have much reaction, be that visually or stopping and talking. I do have a couple of things to say. I didn't take notes, but I re-edited this the same day I watched it. It was good to watch it again. I did kind of move a little quick at the end. I get why they moved quick, though, because, you know, they had 30 minutes, and that was it to wrap things up. I understand why Jon killed Dany. I don't know. I'm surprised he lived. You know, I'm surprised the dragon didn't kill him. That could be partly because he's Targaryen as well. I would imagine that has a hand in it. I think the dragon would have killed anybody else. And, I mean, the dragon let him go up there with her. So, obviously the dragon didn't know that's what he was going to do. I don't even know if Jon knew that's what he was going to do. You could tell when he was talking to her that he was basically trying to either come to the conclusion that that was the right decision to make or convince himself not to do it. I thought the ending was cute, And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or in a negative way. I thought it was nice. I wouldn't have necessarily ended it any differently. I mean, maybe Jon being king, but I understand why that didn't happen. And, I was a little surprised when they named Bran king, how quickly everyone agreed to that, other than Sansa, keeping the North out of the Seven Kingdoms. So, she's the ruler of the Six, and the North is independent. I thought it was kind of funny when Sam was talking about, let's do like elections, like a lot of countries do nowadays, and how they're all like, psh, that's stupid, so that was kind of funny. I thought it was clever. I thought there was some fun aspects at the end. I wish at the end, they would have had some talking with Jon and his friend from the North, the Wildling. His name slipped my head, of course. We're ending all of these episodes all the way through, and I'm still not remembering names, so I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I thought it was good. One thing that came to mind, though, Arya going out and exploring, I would rather see a spin-off show of Arya go out exploring than what the House of Dragons is showcasing. To bring us all in a little bit, like when I talked about the House of Dragons, part of the reason I'm just not sure if that's the right response or right answer, it sounds like it's very lore heavy. And, with Game of Thrones, I got into some of the lore, but a lot of the lore either went over my head or it just didn't register. And so I just don't know if that's necessarily the right show to get into. I'm not opposed to it. Any suggestions or comments, I'd be open to hear. What I'd like to do on Thursdays moving forward, I want to do something that my Game of Thrones fans would appreciate, and that came here to watch me react to Game of Thrones and stayed through this whole time. I want to do something that you all specifically want to watch. It's not about getting the most views, because my music video reactions, songs from the Philippines, those do really well. But I don't necessarily want to just turn Thursday into more music reactions. I mean, I totally could, but that's not, to me, Thursdays is your day. And I know I've not been the greatest at always getting them out on Thursdays and always publishing them at 6 a.m. my time. It's kind of been hit and miss some of the weeks, or sometimes I take a week off. But I still, Game of Thrones is what got me into the reacting at all. And then that's when Miss Eve said, well, hey, why don't you react to this music group SB19 from the Philippines? But Game of Thrones is what really started it all. When I first started Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 1, that video at the time got like 550 views, which was the most views I've ever gotten on this channel. So it really started the ball rolling to progress to where we are. We're just under 2,000 subscribers, or I guess just under 1,900. And so without Game of Thrones, I don't think this channel would be where it's at. Now, I'd still like to grow the channel, of course, and I'd like to, I would love to do reaction videos, gaming videos, all kinds of videos for a living. Even after all this time and all the momentum we've gained, that's just not going to happen. I'm not saying it can never happen, but this is more of a hobby and a passion. And I'm not, obviously, as you've seen through all these episodes, I'm not an expert at editing. I'm not an expert even at reacting, really. Sometimes I feel like my reactions, they're always honest, but they're not always the most exciting or jaw-dropping. I don't know. But yeah, to bring it back together, I do want to do something on Thursdays going forward that you all would have interest in. If that is House of Dragons, and the fact that you've all been through this many seasons and episodes of Game of Thrones with me, if you want me to watch House of Dragons, I will. It's not that I'm uninterested. I've avoided spoilers of that show up to this point, just in case I did react to it. So I'm not opposed to watching it. I just don't know if that would be too lore heavy, and if I'd miss a lot of points and maybe just not have the best reactions. I really don't know anything about the show other than, it's the Targaryen. I want to say I heard it was like 2,000 years before Game of Thrones. I could be wrong on the amount of time, but it was, when they had dragons and they were ruling and all of that. So it could be interesting. I do like the dragons, so, that could be fun. But I kind of want to leave it all up to you all and see, we might run a poll at some point, so look out for that. I'll probably wait at least a week, if not 2 weeks, before making a final decision of where we're going. And we can always choose something, or I could even do like movies. We could do one-off movies, or we could do the movies in parts. I'd almost rather keep the movies all together. Like, say if I react to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a movie, The Dark Knight. Obviously, I've seen The Dark Knight, so I'm not going to react to it. But say if we chose The Dark Knight, I'd rather The Dark Knight be in one episode rather than stretching it across 6 episodes or something. You know what I mean? We could potentially do 2 episodes if you want shorter videos. But to me, I almost feel like you'd want it in one episode, At least if I was watching, I don't mind longer videos, so I would almost rather watch, if I was going to watch someone react to a movie, I'd want to see the whole movie and then react to it. Another idea I have, I've seen some other channels do this, and they don't get too many views. And the reason I say they don't get too many views, they don't, but the main drawback from that is whether or not you all would be interested. I'm not worried about the views, but those of you that have stuck with me, Marjo of France, I didn't mention you in the beginning, but you've been on my mind. I hope you and your cats are doing well, and I hope work's going okay, and I hope Alice is well. But another thing that I've thought of, and I'd like to do at some point, even if it's not now, at some point I'd like to do commentary over a movie. And basically, it would just be a still picture, or it could be, I could have me, just my camera, talking to you all. But mainly it would probably just be like just a blank picture, and you just hear my voice, and I'd commentate over like one of my favorite movies or something, and talk about the movie, or just talk about anything, really. But typically something like that would be something in relation to what we're watching together, and it would be kind of like we'd watch the movie together. Obviously, I'd watch it on my own and record, but I wouldn't record the movie sounds because I wouldn't want to get copyright and dinged, because I couldn't showcase the whole movie. But then, like, if the runtime was 1 hour and 30 minutes, you'd have me talking over the movie for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Obviously, you'd play the movie on your own, and then you could listen to my commentary while you watch the movie, or you could just listen to my commentary. But that's something I enjoy watching. A good example of the channel, I forget the name of the channel, otherwise I'd shout them out. They do Caravana of Garbage and stuff like that. They do movie reviews and stuff. But last Christmas, they did a commentary video over Home Alone, the original Home Alone. And so it was pretty cool. I turned on Home Alone, but had their commentary playing as well. And so it's kind of cool to hear what they thought of the movie and different facts that they found about the movie and stuff like that. So I think that would be kind of cool. If you guys have any interest in that, I'd love to do that at some point, be that now or later. But yeah, I thought the ending of Game of Thrones was cute. And I know that sounds rude, but I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, I thought it was a good ending. It was decent, It was nice that the Starks triumphed. It was a very safe ending in that aspect, where, kind of more into your mainstream TV and mainstream movies, where the good guys triumph in the end. You know, they're successful. But yeah, I'm rambling. I don't want to keep you too long, but main objective to take from this: what would you personally like to see me do, reaction wise or video wise at all, content wise? Two main things I'd like to do is the movie overlay commentary. What I'd really like to do is get my wife involved as well and have her join the commentary with me over something. We'd pick something that we both enjoy. I think that would be a lot of fun. Or just more videos with my wife. I enjoy making videos, and she does too. We kind of do our own thing. But she does book reviews, and she does that on her YouTube channel. I'll leave that in the description if anyone has any interest. Feel free to follow her. I think her YouTube channel is just her name, Yara Barge, but I'll leave the link to it in the description. So she does her own YouTube videos as well, but I like the idea of doing things together. We've done some of that in the past, not very frequently, but we have done some. And then the other, so movie commentary and or do things with my wife, Yara. I think that could be fun. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys want. I have some ideas and stuff, but you guys have helped build this channel to where we are, and I'd like, moving forward, I'd like to keep everyone that came for Game of Thrones. Ideally, I'd like you to stick around, so if the next step is House of Dragons, if you all decide that's where we should go, then that's where we're heading. I have no problem reacting to House of Dragons, but I just, I don't want to frustrate you all, because I know sometimes I can be frustrating, or I can frustrate certain people or have in the past. But I think the ones that got truly frustrated may no longer be here anymore. But regardless, shout out to Peter Baelish. I just, that actor, he did a great job. Another thing we could do if we want to stick with Game of Thrones-ish stuff is look up the different actors and see where they are now, and maybe pick out some movies or TV shows that they may or may not be in. I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of options out there for what they're still acting, or if some of them did Game of Thrones and then haven't done much acting. But that's another idea as well. But what do you guys think of the ending of Game of Thrones? Let me know. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. And those of you that have been sharing the videos, I wanted to say thank you as well. It hadn't gone unnoticed. I've gotten quite a few shares, which is really awesome. Just sharing videos with your friends and stuff is cool. So, but yeah, I think I'll leave it there, and I'll definitely be reading all the comments. I always do, but I'll be looking out for specifically what you'd like to see us do next. Next week, I do plan to react to, I don't know if we'll do one or all of the honest trailers for Game of Thrones. I think that would be a fun video. If I can find my drive, and if you have interest of seeing like my favorite moments of the season, so we would do like season 1, season 2, season 3, we could do that for a few weeks as well. What I would do is just go through, I'd rewatch the videos, and I could probably just download them off YouTube too. But I'd rewatch the videos and pick out, highlights from that. I don't know if you have any interest in that or not. It was just an idea that did come to mind. If that sounds interesting and you'd like that, then I'd be happy to do that as well. But yeah, I'm open for anything. But like I said, main thing is Thursdays is all about you. So what do you want? But yeah, I've rambled on quite long enough. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a part of this community. You guys have a wonderful week. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you again next time. Bye.